I'm going to try this one more time. I've done it about 8 times. I keep messing up on the volume, so this is my best shot. So here's my data. I'm going to grab my data and do a graph. So left click and drag that along, and I'm going to go to the Insert tab, and I'm going to select a scatter plot. And there it is. That's kind of a nice plot, but what I don't like about it, there's a lot of wasted space down here. And so I want to get rid of some of this wasted space. And if I look over here on the right, it's not ready for me to make a selection. So I'm going to click on that Y-axis scaling, and then I'll right-click, and it should give me a chance to format the axis right down here, Format Axis. So it says that the minimum right now is 0. I'm going to change that to 30 and see if it looks any better. So there's 30. And that's better, but I think I can do even a better job. And let's change it to 35, so I'll do that. Back that up to 35. Okay, so I like the way my graph looks, but I don't like all these numbers in here. There's too many. You see they're doing it every 2. So what I'm going to do is over here on the units where it says major, instead of 2, I'm going to change that to 5. And I'm happy with that. All right, I'm not going to worry about the title or the axes labels right now in the units. I'm just going to concentrate on the trend line. So I'm going to grab this data by clicking on it, and then I'm going to right-click on it, and I'm going to select Add Trend Line. And I get this straight line, which is really not what I want, but I do have all these options over here, and so I'm going to select the power option. Now we're going to do 2 more things on here. One of the things is that I'm going to change that to a solid, and the other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to select over here the display equation on chart, take that and scoot it up there on top so I can see it a little bit better, and I'm going to end up changing the rounding on the equation. Right now it's out 3 places, and since I have that highlighted, I'm just going to go ahead and do it right now. So I'm in there, and I'm going to right click, and I'm going to select Format Trendline Label. And you'll notice that now my tab is over here, these bars. And I've got this number selection, and there's category, and I'll do a drop down, and I'm going to come down to number. This gives me an opportunity now to mess around with the number of decimal places. So right now it's set at 2, I'm going to change that to 3. And it changed it quite nicely on the equation. Really easy. So now I'm going to work on this dotted line or dashed line. I want to make it a solid. So I'm going to click on there, and you'll notice that it highlighted it at the beginning of the end. And let's see, it says trend line options for formatting the trend line. I'm going to come over here to this bucket. And I'm going to come down here, and where it says dash type, I'm going to click that down arrow, and I'm going to select a solid line. And I like that. Now, you might look at that and say, oh, it's a little thicker than I want, so I can come over here to the width, and I could make it a little less thick if I wanted to. Kind of whatever is pleasing. So I showed you how to change the rounding, and I've showed you how to make your trend line a solid. And I hope that helps.